Hello everyone, I am Tessellating Hexagons, back with another serving of the Water Temple. My guest is still with me. He just took a quick blowjob break, and his mouth is now free of penis, so if you want to intro, then the stage is entirely yours.
Hello, my name is AustinOnSugar.
Beautiful. Well, I mean, apparently semen is high in glucose, so...
Glucose and protein, as I recall.
Oh, of course, you're the expert in these things. Now, something I never appreciated as a child, come into this room, you have a reflection, you stand on here, you don't have a reflection. Except I didn't walk all the way over it, so no, the reflection is gone. You're going to appear, or do you want me to turn away? Are you really that self-conscious? Dark-ass Link. Oh, no, there he is. Now, I have no strategy, but according to Austin, this excuse me? You probably didn't see that, because... Okay, yep,
He's caught on the tree.
Yes, he's stuck between two frames, just blipping left and right. And I think he's getting progressively more solid, because the more solid he becomes, the more of his strategy you've learned. So I'm just going to stand here and do nothing. If he becomes completely solid, he will have literally no strategy. But unfortunately, we can't spend the entire episode like this, so... Do arrows hurt him? I feel like they probably don't, but I'm going to try it anyway, because... I mean, sitting fucking duck. Oh, there we go. Well, it's... Something, two links poking each other with their swords and ramming stuff home. I don't know. And I will just loudly and obnoxiously clack the controller because... Shitty fuck.
This is a beautiful battle to watch in 3 frames a second.
The joys of Skype. Now, as a child, I did say before we started recording, I have an anecdote about this boss. As a child, well, I mean... As a child, it took me quite a while to get past Jabba Jabba's belly, just for the sheer nope factor. Also, I suppose I should mention, he has as many hearts as we do, because that's kind of how this boss does. He's standing there watching me swing the hammer.
Look at how climactic this is. Oh, it's so exciting.
As a child, well, as close to a child as I was when I did this, I struggled with this boss, and I mentioned towards the Forest Temple that I had a Prima strategy guide. I don't know what they're like stateside, but in the UK they're known for being really kind of shit, and not very accurate. And so I tried to use that as a guide for how the fuck do I do this boss, because I was struggling with it.
Oh boy.
And it wasn't very helpful at all. And so I came into this boss. I think I died to it because I didn't really know what I was doing. And then I took the book and I threw it on the floor and smushed it up with my foot, but it only damaged the Dark Link pages, so, well, page, singular. Anyway, turns out it wasn't an island after all, so what the fuck were we standing on?
Creepy, isn't it?
It just reminds me of, Eddake, I think his name is, the one who does Top 10 Bad, an absolutely beautiful mini-series on YouTube, where one of them was Top 10 Twist Endings, or top 10 Bad Twists, that was it. And one of them was something like, an astronaut lands on the moon. Twist! The moon was a dream all along. There is only Nightmare Moon! And then jump scare.
What?
I highly recommend just looking up that series. My favourite one is the most... Shut up, Navi. My favourite one is the most recent of the... I suppose you could call them episodes. It's Top 10 Bad Word Wrongs. That's what it's called. And it's a load of words that are ostensibly mispronounced. It's something like the first one is xylophone, where it's something like... I don't remember the order, because xylophone comes up 3 times in that list. Once as... Zilipony. Then it comes up again later as Xylopilo. And then again as Zilipony! Amongst others, like, Barbie for baby, and Dragonair! Quong! With like a gong sound effect, because that's how you pronounce diagonal. And Phenomenon, or as he pronounces it, Pinomaloma.
Okay, Pinomaloma definitely gets my vote.
Yes. I'm basically spoiling the entire video. I mean, why go and watch that where you can just view it all here? And why is this hookshot target upside down? This bothers me.
No, wait, Tess, next you need to sit down and watch the entire video while on camera. Don't do anything while the video's playing. Say, that's some cool shit, brah, when you're done, and then just end the video.
Wow, it's almost like we're both subscribed to Jack's Films or something.
Oh, it wasn't even him I was talking about, but yes, we are.
And on a totally unrelated note, as a child, hookshot targets, well, as a child, when I saw them, I thought they were just these menacing silver eyes, like they were just meant to look like eyes for some reason. And then it wasn't until the 3DS remake that I realized, oh, those are actual ring things that the hookshot's supposed to connect to. Oh, it's not just arbitrary design because cool. And it took the 3DS remake for me to realize this. I cry all of my sads. That's kind of become my catchphrase du jour, and I'm not entirely sure how to feel about it. And is there a like up here? Because I feel like this would be the sort of place they'd put one, except you can't damage them with a hookshot, so maybe not. I'm guessing not, because I still have my everything.
Gosh, hookshot combat is weird.
Both the hookshot and the boomerang, sometimes they hurt enemies and sometimes they stun them, and that inconsistency troubles me, because I just want to throw something and have it hurt people. I just want to hurt people.
See, this is another point in my mind for Twilight Princess, which is my personal favorite Zelda game, for the record. Because in that game... Hang on, I'll actually think of whatever it was I was trying to say. Underwater combat, if I recall, you can just whip out your sword. You don't have to worry about this kind of managing of whether or not you can...
I'm standing on nothing.
Use the hookshot to stun this thing.
I just did a dramatic pose whilst using Din's fire, and I was standing on nothing. But yes, you're touching a correctness with your correctness. Tasty. Now, is there a purpose to this room? Because these wall switches, they only respond to the hookshot for some reason, and not arrows, as we found out earlier, or in the last episode, I don't remember at this point. But just look how short and easy this temple is compared to the original. Although, to be fair, I think a lot of the original's notoriety just comes from the fact that no one knows where to go, and they made that easier in the 3DS remake anyway, so...
No one knows where to go, and the iron boots take that wonderful 5 seconds to switch in and out.
See, I was going to mention that, and then I completely forgot that that's the whole point of what I was trying to say, and so I just lapsed into no one knows where to go, but yeah. So that's the other thing they fixed in the 3DS version. You can change... It becomes effectively a C item.
And they did a really good thing by that, because the way that they handled it with the touchpad... There are always 4 items you can have equipped, which is one more than in this game.
And one of them is always, there's an extra separate button for the ocarina as well, and me being me, I always have the ocarina equipped.
So
on
basically, you always have 2 extra buttons available. At the very least, you'll always be guaranteed 1 more. So if you need 3 different item slots to have a comfortable time with the water temple, not including the ocarina, you can still have a comfortable time even with the iron boots on the 4th slot, which I think is a really great addition, and I hope more Zelda games follow that kind of mentality.
And yet another Din's Fire and random boss key on the other side of this wall, which had torches behind it that you have to have some sort of special face in order to see. They can't have my brand. I have special eyes. That's not even an advert over here, and I know about it.
Well, I mean, this is the internet.
It's not even topical anymore, though.
Look, it doesn't matter how topical it is. It's one of the best commercials ever made.
Just bearing in mind, to date stamp this video, it's the 18th of February, and as I've mentioned recently, I don't remember exactly when, this is not going to go up for like 7 or 8 weeks, so it's going to be even less topical by the time you see this. Apart from you, Austin, you're seeing it now.
Well, marginally. Unless it has some kind of mimetic resurgence. Apparently Emperor's New Groove is finally getting memes again, of all things. Why? It was a 2000 movie. It's an amazing 2000 movie, but why now?
The only Emperor's New Groove meme that I recall even seeing is someone had combined footage from that with audio from Steven Universe in reference to that one line about don't mess with his funky flow, because it worked better with Emperor's New Groove footage than it did in Steven Universe, and it works in Steven Universe as well. Okay, so I have the boss key. There's other stuff that I think down here, this was closed off before and now it's not, I'm not sure why. I think you need the fire arrows in order to do this. But I'm going to try and do it. I'm going to try and do it. Yes, that was an accidental pun on the name of the son of Neptune. I'm going to try to do that. Why do I words? I'm now making it sound like it was intentional. It wasn't. I'm going to see if I can do this, and if I can't, then stake have a pillory. Another really dated reference.
Hey Tess. How many tries did the water temple take you when you were a kid? Was it
a ton?
Over 9,000?
Oh, you could have had logical punchline there, and you went for
the over-dated See, I can get it on the dated references too.
You fucked my pun bundle.
Rosebud. Anyway. I'm sorry, I don't know how you can get much more dated than Rosebud, but I'm trying to think of something here. 7 weeks ago, we recorded this part, and we something. Yeah.
Yeah, I need the fire arrows. I was going to say something Mussolini Hitler, but that's. I'm fairly sure that was after the invention of America.
Maybe.
I'm not good with history.
Oh, neither am I. That's what makes history so interesting to me. Every time I hear something stupid, it's the first time I heard it.
Like, I think we were discussing... Well, I know we were discussing on the other day how, once upon a time, the army of Liechtenstein sent 80 men to Italy and came back with 81. Way to go, Liechtenstein. This is why you're not in Eurovision. Well, actually, it's because your national broadcaster isn't a member of the EBU, and you can't afford to.
They were given a vote, and that one extra person happened to vote against it and was the tiebreaker.
This was part of the same conversation where we were talking about how that in like Northern Europe there were rules against there being queens, and so there were just a bunch of female kings to completely avoid that rule. I was going to say circumnavigate. That's not the word I'm looking for.
See, I think it is actually circumnavigation of that. Yeah.
Circumvent, perhaps?
Circumvention, yeah, well, yes, but technically it's a mental gymnastic version of circumnavigation.
Why did I think you were going to say sort of mental gymnastic something circumcision?
Well.
Also, this room looks impossible compared to the original, but there's a crystal switch up there that just makes hookshot targets appear, so by making it harder, they've made it a lot easier.
This is reminding me, and I don't believe I brought it up yet, so I'm going to bring it up now because I always have to bring up something Sonic or Bayonetta related in everything I ever do.
Which is fine by me.
Sonic Unleashed had a bunch of DLC acts that were actually my favorite part of the game, which also felt like they were designed by interns. But the really interesting part about all that is that I believe it was Atabat, or Jungle Joyride rather, was made easier, but also made more interesting as a result. They had a lot more fun because they just kind of let go and put in a lot of nonsensical stuff like Sonic running on a waterfall and stuff that wasn't in the original stage. There's a part you do backwards, there's parts that were just made easier because they felt like not having anything get in the way. And this is starting to remind me of that, especially the Jabu Jabu cows and this in particular.
And while you were telling that story, my brain did a rather not pleasant, and I was just thinking, so... interns having fun plus a stage that's based on Thailand, they were fucking ladyboy prostitutes. Sorry to everyone in Thailand that I've just offended by adhering to that gross stereotype that is actually kind of a little bit sort of true, not that I'd know.
Not from personal experience, man.
Anyway, tentacle hentai. It's the porn boss.
It's the Umibozu! Run! Olimar, gather your Pikmin and flee!
And I was going to say something like, gather your Pikmin and fleas, like insects, but that's not even a punchline. Oh no, I've never fallen in the water in this boss before, so I have no idea what happens, but I'm assuming it's not good. Why did you... It just jumped right over me. Like, but...
Hello!
Great, now I'm imagining that Morpha is officially voiced by the same guy who did Beetle in The Wind Waker.
Oh! Thank you!
Step over into the bus room, Morpha appears all menacing, and just like, oh! And then, in fact, you know what, I'm going to edit in the really obnoxious bye when I defeat the boss, because that's just become a thing now. Now come on, Hentai McGee. That's not a punchline. This is the boss of no punchlines.
Please, it's Hentai Magoo.
What is it with you and goo?
Look, first of all, boobs are gooey, and second of all, Morpha's gooey. So everything has to be Magoo. Boobs
are gooey. Okay, just boob... I don't know what sort of boobs you've been interacting with. Gummy bears, perhaps?
Gummy boobs.
Gummy boobs. As I recall, there was some song about gummy bears, and it has like a verse in it in Hungarian for some reason, because what the fuck?
That doesn't happen to be the Gummy Bear song which was sung in every language, was it?
I don't know. I know there's... I was watching a stream from... Actually, it was from my Fire Sage, who was streaming quite some time ago, who was doing a load of dance games, and one of them was like Just Dance Kids or something, and the Gummy Bear song was on there, but it was the version where it's mostly in English, apart from one random verse in Hungarian, because fuck you. Or if I want to be slightly humorous, I could say, because fuck your, which is like a really common expression in the Czech language, which just means, is that so? And so it sounds a lot like the people of the Czech Republic are saying fuck you whenever you ask them a question. In fact, there's a lot of words in Czech like that. I'm not too proficient in the language because it is a little bit crazy, but for instance, rather appropriately actually, their expression that means 4:30 sounds like pool party. And that's literally what we just had, except the party was death.
I mean, I don't know how your pool parties go. This is how mine mostly end.
Well, now I'm thinking pool parties and tentacles and all of that nonsense. And I'm just reminded of the music video for Fantasy by DYE, or Die, however you pronounce it.
First the water drains, then the tentacle porn lets out a shriek, bye! And then after that, some random heart boils out of somewhere. And then there's the fish boobs.
And there's also Cthulhu nonsense, except nope, that's the music video. But who's counting? Because numbers are numbers. I don't know. I sincerely don't know. I got a one-up for my hearts, and so I'll step into the blue light, we'll go quiet for a little bit so Austin can post-production-y insert himself, and actually, I'm going to do this now. I'm going to set my arrows so that I'm fairly sure that the cutscene spits you out, like, at the break of day, so you have just enough time to run and shoot the sun and get the fire arrows, but we'll see that in a moment, and so I shall dip into the quiet hood just so that Austin can words in post. It's okay, we can say shit now and I'll cut it out, or whatever. Although,
of course.
Given the timing, I'm probably going to leave this little bit in, and now I'll probably start cutting it out so that Austin can give voice to the only sage that doesn't share the gender with my guest commentator sage gender.
I beg your pardon, I identify as a cowfish. Sea cow, whatever. Fish boobs!
Tess, I would have expected no less from the man I chose to be my husband. Zora's domain and its people will eventually return to their original state. As a reward, I grant my eternal love to you. Well, that's what I want to say, but I don't think I can offer that now. I have to guard the water temple as the Sage of Water. And you're searching for the Princess Zelda? Ha! You can't hide anything from me. Princess Zelda, she's alive. I can sense it, so don't be discouraged. I can tell that nothing will stop you in your quest for justice and peace. You must take this medallion. Take it respectfully.
Anyway, fucking back in with the commentary. Oh my god, we got the ice medallion. I mean water medallion. I could hardly tell with the ice crystals. I suppose could be interpreted as splashes of water or some fancy schnancy.
If you see Sheik, please, give him my thanks, okay?
Okay, now I can definitely resume commentating in all good conscience. That line on the white screen has caught me out 2 out of 3 times now.
Go for a full flush. Go for 4 out of 5 times. Anyway, how do you justify the wind medallion?
Hitler. Well, because they got rid of one of the banana swirly things in the 3DS version because they thought it looked a bit too swastika.
But really?
Yep, in 3DS version it only has 3 bananas. In this version it has 4.
The hell are they gonna fix Zelda 1's dungeon then, if they're really that worried about it?
They didn't. I still remember in in Bomberman Tournament, there's a dungeon that's shaped like a manji, and so I did freak out at the time, but then I realized it was going the manji way rather than the swastika way.
Bomberman's a Nazi?
Although, that said, the name manji, that just makes me think of like, as someone who speaks Japanese or in some capacity, it just makes me think of a really butch, masculine, weightlifting kanji. It's not just a kanji, it's a manji!
Yeah! Watashi wa!
The Chuck Norris of the written word.
Oh god.
See, now I'm imagining an actual manji with like biceps or something now.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it has arms.
Trouble is, the only Japanese I know is watashi wa tako desu. Otherwise, I would,
You're an octopus.
Yes.
Well, okay. Now, can I shoot it in time? Because it gives you barely enough of a window.
10.
Yes!
9. 8. Oh, you already did it. Okay.
It's a meatball on a stick. Or something. All I know is...
Hungry? Grab a Snickers!
All I know is in Masayanella's playthrough, she bumbled and fuck. And didn't get the fire arrows, and so she had to Sun Song. But I'm gonna have to Sun Song anyway, because there's 2 gold sculptures that I want to get while I'm here.
Excuse me, but my uncle lives in Bumblefuck, and I am highly offended by this.
You know what? Good.
He also happens to be a sea cow.
Delicious. Now, if you have the Scarecrow song and the long shot, you can actually get up here before beating the Water Temple. But as well, I should point out, Lake Hylia has been refilled with water, but Zora's Domain is still frozen over. Spoiler alert, I don't know why, and this makes me sad, because I didn't go through this dungeon for plot progression. I wanted to... Is there not a Gold Sculpture on this platform in this version? Bullshit. Well, there's one up that tree anyway. The point is, I am sad that Zora's Domain is still frozen over, but then again, how would you get to the ice cavern? If unfreeze. To get to the other side, there's a punchline somewhere.
I mean, they could very well have just put, like, a long shot target or something.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good point. So, Master Quest, fuck, what is your beef? Now, by all rights, I should end the episode now. I do want to go back into the temple and just do those extra bits with the fire arrows, but at the same time, we've wrapped this up in basically 2 episodes. So, if I go back in now, it'll either be half an episode with you, and then half an episode without. Or, I don't know. Shall we milk this for all it's worth?
Let's milk it! Just like the chickens!
Oh, good grief. Well, you know what, I'm going to make an entire episode out of it, so... I have been and will continue to be Tessellating Hexagons, and goddammit, I'm going to get 3 episodes out of every sage if it kills me. So, also here's the crystal switch. Link can just make out with that between episodes.